Hey everybody, I have a quick fix here. I've seen on some forums that there's some of these brother printers that people are having trouble with print quality. Basically you get a sheet that looks like this. It's really faded after you put in a new drum and a new toner. And this is my wife's printer, and it just started doing this. There's a click sound, like a gear stripping sound, and after that it would no longer print. We just get this faded print. And we found that the toner cartridge was somewhat hard to insert. And this is for a brother. This is the HL 2280DW, and I was able to fix it. Just trying to keep stuff out of the landfill as much as possible. It just bothers me these printers are made so cheap. Although this has actually been a good little printer. Print quality wise, it's been excellent. But it wasn't that expensive, but it's been a little workhorse for her business, for her home business. But anyways, found the problem. If you take out your toner cartridge and you look at the roller here, see how it's got a stripe down it? That roller is supposed to rotate. It's actually got, I'm going to touch with my finger, if you look at my finger, the black toner right there. So that roller is what rotates and distributes the toner onto the drum. But it's not turning, as you can see, because it's just a worn spot where there's no toner. So I found out that there's a mechanism, a clutch mechanism, that had popped out of place. And you just take the side panel off. There's just plastic tabs. You pull the paper tray out in the front open here. There's some plastic tabs, and there's one Phillips head screw on the back, and you just take the side panel off and you can see the control board and the drivetrain. So they're basically using one motor to do everything. They forward and reverse it, and they have two clutches basically to do all the operations. But anyway, to take this plate off, there's a screw up here, this little grounding strap. Do this all with one hand is really fun. Screw right there. And that just lifts up all the way. These three Phillips screws here. Anyway, before the printer failed, she said it made a popping, then like a screeching sound, like gear stripping, and that's when everything went to hell in a handbasket. So here's this. Take this little panel off here. Oh, got one more screw down below. Okay, and then don't forget this clutch assembly. It has to, those tabs have to engage with that prong. But for now, I'm going to lift it up. Just kind of get it out of the way, like that. And I take this gearbox, this cover plate off. Go. And you'll see there's a, for the parts, there's a spring. Don't forget this. There's a coil spring right here. And that spring goes over here. Fits into that little hole. Down that little cup. Anyways, like that. So that's where that spring goes, in case you were wondering. And what happens is you got this little cam mechanism here, and it's like a capstan on a tape deck, or not a capstan, but one of those cassette rollers. So it's engaged to this cog as it slides back and forth. So what it does is it retracts it, and when it's retracted, it won't turn that drum, or that little rubber roller that deposits the toner on the drum. And then it's when it extends out by spring force, then it's engaging that drum. What happens on this particular unit, there's this sliding cam. You got a cup here. I won't take it apart because I haven't got it together. But anyways, what happens is this thing came apart. So when you open the door, it slides open. Yeah, read it. There's a piece, this piece that fits here. It's got these two locating tags, so it can't rotate. But what it does, it rides up and down on a cam, so it goes in and out, in and out. And that's what controls the engagement of that drum. So what happens is this thing had popped out and just stayed stuck out. And I don't know what part came apart. It was just because when I took it apart, it all was like this. But anyway, this just sits onto there, and you should be able to open and close this door and watch it drop down. It should move freely. And that lower arm, you see down here, grab my screwdriver. This curved piece here, this goes underneath this plastic piece here, just in case there's any questions. But basically, that's all there is to that mechanism. So once you get this to open and close freely like this, you'll see this piece drop in. You can see it move in, up and down. That's what you need to have to fix it. Anyway, that's what happened. So this thing somehow it popped out of its track. I don't know what happened, but when I took it apart, this thing was just loose. It had fallen off, and this thing was, this lower section here was actually riding on top of this lower cam piece. So this plastic piece here, which somehow is connected to this inner mechanism, this had somehow popped on top of it. So it was no longer able, this whole thing was jammed up, not able to turn. So anyways, that's what you need to check that out. If you have one of these brother printers that's giving you faded print after the toner, and you see that your toner depositing roller is not rotating, it's going to be this mechanism right here. We also had trouble putting the toner cartridges in. They were like kind of hard. You had to fight to put them in, and it's because this was messed up and it wasn't retracting that it's just a clutch or whatever, that capstan, I guess. I was going to call it a capstan, but whatever, like they had on cassette tapes, the take-up spools, little spools, whatever. Anyways, check that out, and hope that'll help some people figure these things out instead of having to send them in for repair or whatever, because I've seen on some forums people having problems with them. Anyways, thanks a lot. Okay, let's put that together. But just so you can see, now the toner cartridge goes right in and out really easy. Before it was hanging up really bad on the left-hand side. I almost had to force it in there. Now it just goes in like it's supposed to. Turn it on. Wait for everything to boot up. No fire, everything works. Okay, we'll go to menu on a print a test page. Go to printer, print options, test print. Voila, good as new. So anyways, that seems to be a common problem. So hopefully that'll help somebody. Thanks a lot.